I've got an astonishing story here for you about how the federal government is refusing to allow legitimate health claims for an ingredient to be added to alcohol that can prevent liver damage. Now, everybody knows that alcohol causes liver damage. It attacks the liver. Binge drinking in particular can really, really destroy liver function. And of course, those who consume too much alcohol on a consistent and long-term basis very frequently suffer cirrhosis of the liver, permanent liver damage, and ultimately liver failure. Well, it turns out that this does not need to happen for many, many people. And there is a compound, an ingredient that is derived from an herb that has been used for thousands of years, including in traditional Chinese medicine. And this natural sugar, if you will, it's kind of a sugar, it's related to a sugar molecularly, when it is added to alcohol, it reduces the liver damage. It has what are called hepatoprotective properties. Hepato meaning liver. That's the Greek prefix for liver function. It protects the liver. It's like kind of like wearing a shield on your liver, but a chemical type of shield. So someone who's drinking alcohol in a social setting or, celebrating New Year's Eve or whatever they're doing, they can, with the help of this ingredient being added to the alcohol, they could experience less damage or possibly no damage from the alcohol they consume that would normally damage the liver. So this ingredient, by the way, is called NTX. NTX, and it's made from glycyrrhizin and mannitol. And glycyrrhizin, by the way, is what's found in licorice root. And licorice root is a traditional Chinese herbal medicine that has been used for thousands of years, and it's also used in Western herbalism, and it has extraordinary properties all by itself. Licorice root, for example, has been used in many formulas to treat diabetes, for example. Type 2, not type 1, but type 2. And it is known to help regulate blood sugar, so it's having an effect on the pancreas. Well, according to the research that I've now come into contact with, that I have in my hands, and I'll read you some of this glycyrrhizin molecule can also protect the liver. So this company has created a compound called NTX, and they try to get it into alcohol products like vodka, for example, and they try to be able to say on the label that this makes drinking safer, or some paraphrase version of that. And the federal government said no, and said, you can't do that. We're not going to allow you to do that. We don't want you to tell people that they can make drinking safer. And you got to wonder, of all the crazy, insane things that our government does, like the EPA polluting the rivers in Colorado, the FDA conspiring with pharmaceutical companies to keep deadly toxic drugs on the market like Resolin, which caused liver damage. There's a case where the FDA actually deliberately caused liver damage in tens of thousands of Americans. They knew that drug was dangerous. It had already been banned in Europe, but they kept it on the market at least 6 months longer than they should have, and as a result, people suffered liver damage. Well, today, we've got things that people are consuming every single day that are causing routine liver damage, and alcohol is one of them. Another is that over-the-counter painkiller, acetaminophen, which is known by the brand name Tylenol. And did you know that if you drink alcohol and you take acetaminophen together, Tylenol plus vodka, let's say, you cause severe permanent liver damage from doing that? Did you know that? Almost nobody knows that. I'm shocked, because you look at an average New Year's Eve, it's people getting smashed and taking painkillers, right? That's sort of what a lot of people do on New Year's Eve. Not me. I stay far away from that scene, but a lot of other people do that. And so people are getting permanent liver damage, and you know what? The FDA isn't warning them. The FDA isn't banning any of that stuff. It's like at every level of the federal government, it's almost like they want people to have liver damage, because that creates more patients for the pharmaceutical industry and the hospital industry and the sick care system, and more people demand Obamacare coverage. It's like the more damage they can keep you, the more that all of the corporations that they really work for, the more they benefit. And the FDA and the USDA, they're all working for the corporations at this point. So none of this is surprising. But let me get back to NTX here. So this company, which I'll get to here, this is a multi-part audio commentary. There's more to this story. The company that created NTX went to a vodka company. And, oh, by the way, I should mention that this glycyrrhizin and mannitol, the ingredients in it, are, of course, GRAS by the FDA, means they're generally recognized as safe. Sometimes it's called GRAST by the FDA. They've been used for a very, very long time. They're plant-based molecules that are very, very safe. So this company, which has a patent, and I'm going to read to you from the patent, this company went to a vodka manufacturer called Bellion Vodka. Now, I don't know the name Bellion. I'm not a vodka drinker. The only vodka I ever buy is for making herbal tinctures, by the way. So I just look for the cheapest stuff I can possibly get for that purpose. But maybe this Bellion Vodka is a premium brand. I'm not sure. You might know better than I do. Anyway, Bellion Vodka applied to the TTB. Now, the TTB it was created by Congress in 2003, and it took over the alcohol functions from the ATF, which used to be, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms. But now it's the TTB, which is the Tobacco Tax and Trade Bureau, actually has taken that over. Actually, I'm sorry, it's the Alcohol and Tobacco Tax and Trade Bureau. So why isn't it ATTB? I don't know. Anyway, it's the TTB. So get that in your head. TTB is who's at the federal level determining what you can and cannot say on alcohol products. So this Bellion Vodka went to the TTB and said, hey, we want to be able to say on our label that this vodka is, quote, infused with NTX. That's it, infused with NTX, because they mix NTX, that's the protective ingredient. They mix it in with the vodka and have a safer alcohol. And the agency turned it down. TTB said, you can't do this, and we're just not going to allow you. In fact, if you do pursue this, we're going to pursue regulatory penalties against you. So get this. So here's a company, Bellion Vodka, that's trying to make its product safer for consumers. This is like a car company saying, let's put airbags in the car. Let's have seat belts. Let's have anti-lock brakes in the car, right? Let's have NTX in the vodka, make it a safer product. And the federal government says, no, you're not allowed to do that. You can't put that on the label. You can't state that. We don't want you to make a safer product. How insane is this exactly? I mean, it's as if the federal department covering automobiles went to Ford and said, you can't have airbags in your cars. You got to rip the seatbelts out. Those things, that's an unapproved claim that seatbelts save lives. Right? How insane would that be? But that's what this is exactly like. And this is not some just maybe type of product. I mean, this thing is patented. I have the patent right here in front of me. This thing, here's the patent number, by the way, and the date is October 6, 2015. Now, this is a brand new situation, which is why we're covering it now. Patent number 9149491. No, I'm not dyslexic. That's actually the number, 9149491B2. I don't know what the B2 means, but anyway, this patent, from the abstract, it says, this invention relates to reduced toxicity of functional alcoholic beverage composition comprising distilled alcohol, that would be the vodka, deionized water, glycyrrhizin, or glycyrrhizin and a sugar alcohol or sugars, that would be the mannitol, having a pH in the range of 4 to 9, and so on and so forth, that glycyrrhizin and a sugar alcohol as a hepatoprotectant. This present invention provides an alcoholic beverage for reducing hepatotoxicity caused by its consumption and a process to manufacture the said alcoholic beverage. They're mentioning the process here because patents often patent a process, a manufacturing process. So that's why they're mentioning that. But if you go through this patent, again, you can look it up. It talks about the problem with how 10% of the adult population in the U.S. suffers from alcohol use disorders. So many people are having their livers damaged, literally around the world. I mean, it's millions and millions of people who are suffering serious damage, and just in the United States alone, it's millions who are suffering some level of damage. And it talks about how this glycyrrhizin compound, which again is extracted from licorice root, is able to vastly reduce the liver toxicity of alcohol consumption. So why wouldn't the government want to make alcohol safer to drink? You got to ask yourself that question. Why wouldn't they? Especially, this is patented. This is proven. There are white papers out there on this. This is documented in the scientific literature. You can go onto science.naturalnews.com if you want. You can search for licorice root and liver disease or hepatoprotective properties. I dare you, go there and search it. We have the entire National Library of Medicine PubMed database on there, and it talks about all of that. And you can see that licorice root has liver protective properties. So this is sort of like infusing the wisdom of a medicinal herb over thousands of years into modern day alcoholic beverages in order to allow people to drink without damaging their organs in the process. Now, obviously, it doesn't make getting drunk any safer if someone's going to get smashed and drive a car. But even if they do drive a car, guess what? They have seatbelts and anti-lock brakes and airbags because those manufacturers made their products safer. So why not make the alcohol safer too? This is what I just don't get. This is what frustrates me so much as a food research scientist. I'm always trying to make food safer. And even though I don't promote alcohol, people are going to drink it anyway. So if we could make the alcohol a little bit safer for people and have less liver damage, wouldn't that make sense? Why is our government against this? That's the question. So you're listening to the Health Ranger here, healthrangerreport.com, naturalnews.com. I'll continue this in part 2. Thanks for listening.